Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our eighth class of this improvement English course. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening,
Good
teacher.
evening.
Good
Good
evening. Good
evening, teacher.
evening. I hope you enjoyed our last holiday yesterday, and you are ready to keep going with this for the rest of January. So for today, we have one topic, just one topic, which is indefinite pronouns. A an easy topic. I think it is an easy topic, but it has some rules that we need to bear in mind when we are taking the test because you have a couple of questions with this subject. So tonight, Alfonso Florian is going to be exploring and covering this topic for us. Alfonso Florian, are you ready? Okay, so
Yes,
I'm gonna give
teacher.
you access so you can start sharing your screen
Thank you,
and
teacher.
get down to business.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, please.
Okay, now you can share your screen.
Okay. Just a moment.
It's okay.
Can you see my screen, teacher?
It's loading.
Okay.
Okay, now I can see your screen. You're good to go.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. Today we have to talk about definite pronoun. Oh, I'm going to talk about definite pronoun. Okay. Let me. Okay. Indefinite pronouns are pronouns that refer to a person, thing, group, or animal in general way, without specifying thoroughly who or what it's being referring to. Formation is tense. Many different pronouns are formed by combining the prefixes any, every, no, or some with the root, for example, body, one, or thing. For example, body, everything, everyone, anything, somebody, and something. Okay. Indefinite pronouns are placed, uses. Indefinite pronouns are placed in the same location as a noun will go in the sentence. For example, I would like to go somewhere this summer. Related form, indefinite pronouns can represent either count noun and non-count nouns. And we can form possessive pronouns too. For example, you cannot is to an indefinite pronoun to make a possessive. For example, they were staying in somebody's house. We are using here un possessive case. You can see here somebody's house. Okay. First, you can use er after indefinite pronoun to refer to other people or things. For example, all the family can, but no one else. Here, how different ways to use the incorrect. For example, we have singular indefinite pronouns. All singular indefinite pronouns are someone, anyone, everybody, because they take singular verbs. For example, everyone is happy or everyone is here. Okay. Plural indefinite pronouns. Plural indefinite pronouns. For example, many, few, several. Take plural verbs. For example, many are called, but few are chosen. In the negative sentences, we have to avoid W negative. For example, it's incorrect to say, I don't have nobody to help me. The correct way to say this is, I don't have anybody to help me, or I have nobody to help me. General use. Any pronoun, anyone, anything in negative sentence And possessive forms add s to form possessive form once anybody's. This is the thing that I explained before. 1 minute is all. We have common mistakes in this case. For example, doubly negative. Using two negative in the same sentence is incorrect. For example, incorrect pronoun in this case is using the wrong pronoun for the context. For example, some instead of any in a negative sentence. Example, it's correct to say somebody left their phone on the table, but it's incorrect to say nobody didn't come to the party. The correct form is I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay. There are many types of pronouns, indefinite pronouns. Okay. Indefinite pronouns can be categorized into several types based on the kind of preference they make. The number one is there are pronouns for people, there are pronouns for things, there are pronouns for quality or aimon, and there are pronouns for specified vagueness or or pronouns for negation. For example, in the first one is pronoun for people. For example, we have anyone, anybody. Refers to any person, but not a specific one. Example, does anyone have a pain? Everyone or everybody. Refers to all people in a group in general. For example, does everyone agree with the plan? Someone or somebody refers to an specified person. For example, someone left their bag here. No one or nobody refers to not personal or. For example, no one came to the party. In the second list, pronoun for thing, for example, we have anything. Anything refers to anything, usually in general or in a specific manner. For example, I didn't see anything unusual. Everything refers to all things in general. For example, she packed everything she needed. Nothing refers to the absence of anything. For example, I have nothing to say. Something refers to an specified thing. Example, is there something in your bag? Okay, number three, pronoun for quality or aimon. We have many things in this case. For example, or refers to the word quality or something. Example, all of the cookies are gone. Some refers to a specified portion of something. For example, I need some help with this task. None refers to no quality or something. For example, none of the students passes the test. Several refers to no refers to more than two, but no many. For example, I saw several people at the park. Few refers to a small number of concepts. For example, few people know the answer. Many refers to large number. Example, many have tried to solve this puzzle. Okay. Number four, pronoun for excuse me, specificity, teacher.
S-
Okay. Each
Specificity.
specificity. Thank you, teacher. Each refers to every individual item or person in a group. For example, you should talk to each of the team members. Other refers to an alternative remaining person or team. For example, there are other options to consider. Another refers to one more item or person in addition to one already mentioned. For example, I would like another cup of coffee. Any refers to any one thing or person, typically used in negative or interrogative sense. For example, do you have any question? Okay, number five, pronoun for negation. For example, none is used to indicate that there is no one or nothing. For example, none of the answers were correct. Nothing used to indicate that there is no nothing. No, excuse me. Use nothing used to indicate that there is no sin. Example, I have nothing to ask. Okay, teacher, I hope this helps. Thank you. This is the end. Thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
okay. Thank you very much, Alfonso. Very well.
Thank you,
Do
teacher.
you have any questions for Alfonso about this topic? Okay. Apparently, there
Okay,
are
thank you.
no questions. Thank you. Very well. So let's summarize real quick this. So the indefinite pronouns, as Alfonso was mentioning, we use it for non-specific people, things, and places. We also have the category of amount, which he mentioned, but for the purpose of the test, that category is not important. Okay, we are going to focus only on those indefinite pronouns which are the most common ones. In this case, the with the prefixes some, any, no, and every. So I'm gonna narrow this down into three things that you need to remember. First, you need to remember the prefixes. You have some, any, no, and every. The same rule applies for the quantifiers. In the case of some and any, we are going to use some in positive sentences, any in negative and questions. No, we're going to use it in affirmative sentences, and we are going to use every, which is the versatile one, in positive, negative, and in questions. That's the first thing that you need to remember. Number two, these indefinite pronouns are always going to use singular verbs when especially when they are the subjects. So for example, everybody, especially with the every suffix, everybody is here. Even though everybody is or everyone are in plural, the structure says the grammar rule is that you need to use the verb followed by the indefinite pronoun in singular. Okay? So you might feel tempted to use a plural verb, but you have to use a singular verb. And I underline this, highlight this of every, because normally this is the one that we tend to confuse because we are seeing a concept referring to more than one. But that's the rule, okay? That's the second point. And the third point that Alfonso also mentioned, and you can't forget because it's in your test, is that when you are using the prefixes no, you can't have another negative element in the sentence. Okay? So let me share with you this example. Okay, so here we have this exercise. We have two. Let's focus on the first one. Choose the incorrect one. Which one of these is the incorrect sentence?
The first one, teacher.
Okay, everyone agree? Apparently, they all agree. Let me give them one more minute.
Yes, I think so. Because in the first one it's very two negative, and the third one is the same two negative. Only the second is one negative. That's not bad there.
Okay, so Alfonso is right, and the others that concur with him wasn't nobody there is incorrect because you can't have a double negative. So if you are using nobody, you can't have wasn't. That's the reason why the rule says that when you use no as a prefix or use a no indefinite pronoun, the sentence will be in affirmative, like this sentence. So these two sentences are exactly like that in your test. So they give you this option and this other option. So you now know that you have to choose the one that is affirming in affirmative. Was nobody there? This is a question, actually. I just forgot the question mark, but you get the point. So this is incorrect. Remember that. The third sentence, this is a correct sentence because remember that with any, we use it in negative and in questions. So this is correct. The only exception is with no. No, okay? No can have another negative in the sentence because it's a redundancy, that's a double negative, and we know as teachers that that is a common mistake between students to use double negative in English. And if you do a test or an exercise, or if you take a test and you choose one of those options with a double negative, you know it's wrong. Okay, even though you could say, well, it's not actually wrong, it's just a redundancy. Yes, it's incorrect. Then you have this other exercise. Choose the correct one. I have lost my keys, I can't find them anywhere, and I have lost my keys, I can't find them nowhere. Which one of those is the correct one? Let's see who raised his hand first. Fausti Berges, tell me.
Hello. The correct is the number one.
Okay. Everyone agree with Fausti?
Yes,
Everybody?
teacher, it is.
Yes.
I agree with her, yes. Number one.
Okay. So that's correct. The first sentence is the correct one. Why is that? Normally, Americans, when they can find a thing or something in any location, they normally use anywhere. Although nowhere is the absence of something in somewhere, it's not used commonly in this way, but normally as a standalone sentence. For example, it's nowhere to be found. It's more common for them to use it like that, as a standalone sentence by itself. But normally, when they are referring to something that they can find in any location, they use anywhere. Again, this exercise is practically a copy of your test because you have something like this, and they give you nowhere and they give you anywhere. So remember, is anywhere the answer? Okay? So you have there 2 more points. So, do you have any question, another question, or any questions related to indefinite pronouns? If you remember the rules that I just mentioned and take this tip, you write it down, you memorize it, you understand it, you are going to be good to go for the test in these 2 points. I think you have like 3 or 4 questions. I don't remember quite well with indefinite pronouns, but those 2 are for sure in the test. Okay, so I'm gonna send, as always, in this case, 2 exercises. I'm gonna send the first one. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to do it, and then I'm gonna send the other one. Let's just practice what we just saw, okay? It's just to practice. If we can do it in the exercise, we will be able to do it in the test as well, okay? Because sometimes we see all this, and when we are in the test, our minds get messed up. We forget everything, we forget the rules. So that is the reason why I always bring some kind of exercise just to jog our memory and to put us into a stressful situation to simulate our the situation that you are going to be in a couple of weeks from now. I'm gonna use before I send the link, by the end of January you are going to have another English test, okay? An English level test, another one, and as the same as the one that you took before, this test has some questions that you are going to find exactly like that in your test from Infotep. Okay, Just as I told you at the beginning, many of these questions are repeated over and over again because they do the job. They do the job. They confuse the students, and so they don't need to change it. So in that test, you have to pay attention to it. You will have the link. You can go to the test as many times as you want. You can do the test as many times as you want. But in that test too, you're going to find some questions that you will again find in your test from Infotech, in their Cambridge, the so-called Cambridge test. Okay, so let me send you the link. I hope you are enjoying these short classes because our next class is going to be longer. And I think that from that point on, every class is going to be longer because we are going to get into the more longer and difficult topics. Okay, so I sent you the link for the first exercise. As always, when you finish, take a screenshot and send it to the group. You have 10 minutes. You have until 9:33. I will be here.
dos tips es que utilices una regla que quiero implementar con todos ustedes, que lo voy a implementar también con todos mis clientes, es que hagan una regla de 10, 20, 30. Me explico. Durar los primeros 10 días cuando inicies de una manera pues bien muy buena.
No rectifiquen los discos de fumo de tu vehículo sin primero saber esto. Hola.
Yo tenía
Okay, guys, very well. Now I'm gonna send the second link. You see that the majority of you are doing well. Okay. When I'm doing these exercises, the only thing that I take in mind, that I bear in mind, is the rules. And that's it. There's no way that you can do it wrong if you remember the rules, even if you do it really quick. So just that is just a recommendation or suggestion to actually understand really well the rules. Okay, second exercise. Before I send this exercise, which is the last of the night, our next class on Thursday, we are going to explore modal verbs and modals of deduction. Okay, so I need 2 volunteers, one to explain and explore the modal verbs, all the modal verbs, depending on the textbook, could be 10 or 12, but I need you to add have to and need to, which are the latest modal verbs. So I need one person to explain an overall picture.
Okay, if you want time.
Okay, Giovanni. Okay, so Giovanni is offering to explain the modal verbs. I just want you to cover each modal verb You won't go deep into them. You're just going to explain them and their uses and rules. And I need you to pay attention to three things. So when you explain all the modal verbs, I want you to make an explanation of the difference between should and ought to, because you have this verb in the test, must and have to, and that you need to include need to as a modal verb. Okay, so that's practically it. I'm gonna send it to the group. I'm gonna write it down and I'm gonna send it to the group so you can have the specifications pretty clear. And the other person is going to focus only on the models of deduction. Okay, who wants to volunteer? Who wants to explain that? It's an interesting topic. Models of deduction. Who wants to explain the models of deduction? Nobody? You want me to pick you? Let's see. Helen, are you there, Helen? Oh, apparently Helen isn't there. Let's see. Nehemiahs, are you there?
Yes, teachers, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you willing to explain the
It's-
models
I
of
was having
deduction
someone.
for our next class?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Could you please write it down in the WhatsApp group, please?
Yeah, I will write it down.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. Yes.
So
We're
in
ready
the
for you.
case of you, Nehemiahs, you're going to focus only on the models of deduction. You won't
Okay.
touch the past model of deduction. That is another topic for next week. Only models of deduction, okay? In the present, let's call it present tense. The past models of
Okay.
deduction, we will see it on Tuesday because it will be too much. It would be too
Ah,
much. So
for the next week.
yeah,
Tuesday. Okay.
yeah. But for Thursday, it's the modal verbs, an overview, and then you with the models of deduction.
Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, let's send the last link. Okay, there you go. After you finish with this exercise, you can leave. Okay, you just need to do it, send your score to the WhatsApp group, and that's it. If you have any questions, I will be here. Okay, guys, so that will be all for tonight. Have a really good night. See you on Thursday. Remember, we're going to explore, we're going to cover modal verbs and models of deduction. Pretty important topic. See you on Thursday at 9 p.m. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye, teacher. Bye.
Okay.
Good night, teacher.
Good night.
Good night, teacher.
Good night. Want me to pick you?